Hi everyone, welcome to another sewing video and welcome to the kind of second episode of my linen staple journey, in which I kind of make a couple of staple pieces made out of linen, as the name suggests. So I have a couple of dresses that I want to make and one other project, but that's the final one, so we're not there yet. We're making a dress. I already made this dress and I'm in love. I wear this all the time already and I will be wearing it all summer probably. So now we're making the second one. Now the second one is a bit more of a going somewhere dress, if that makes sense. It's kind of a nicer dress for maybe going out for dinner, but not formal. It's a little bit more of a I'm going somewhere, I want to look nice, I want to dress up a little bit, not too much. That's the idea. Now the pattern. I have a couple of issues with this pattern. I bought it on Etsy. I'm going to put the listing picture up here and let's see if you can see what I clearly failed to see the first time around. I'll wait. Yeah, that's AI. My alarm bell started going off when I downloaded the pattern and I was about to print it out. I saw that the pattern pieces were made using Tailor Nova, to which I have a free subscription, so I could have just made this whole pattern myself for free. Then I got confused because I looked at the pattern pieces and saw that the zipper on the back is only like a couple, maybe like 10 centimeters long, but it's a fitted dress at the waist and a non-stretchy fabric, so how is that supposed to work? There's no way you can put it on or off if the zipper doesn't reach the waist. Then I went back to the listing because I wanted to read some reviews, which I should have done before I bought the pattern, but lessons learned. And that's when I realized that a lot of people were having some issues with this pattern. A lot of people mentioned the zip issue. There's also, I don't know why, but for some reason in the pattern there's also markings for the zipper to be on the side. So which one is it supposed to be? I'm not doing a side zipper anyway because I don't enjoy side zippers. But yeah, the zipper situation is strange. Then I also saw that the neckline doesn't look the same as the images, which makes sense because it's AI generated, which I immediately saw when I looked at the listing the second time. The first time I don't know, I didn't see it, which is strange because it's very clearly AI. Anyway, I've already bought it, so I'm just going to make it work for me. So I've made a couple of changes already kind of in my mind. The zipper is definitely going to extend beyond the waistline so that I can at least get it on and off. Also, oh yeah, there's a facing for the inside, but I decided I'm going to line this dress. I just really like a lined bodice in the dress. It's also just the perfect way to finish your seams and it's just my preferred way of making a dress. And I've decided to just kind of take the facing pieces, make them out of the actual fabric, and then I have some white cotton left over from my corset cover and I'm going to make the rest of the lining out of that. So I will be joining those two and treat it all as one lining. Speaking of fabric, I have this really beautiful light blue linen. Obviously it's linen, it's the same fabric as this dress. It's a light blue. I love blue. And I've already made a couple of dresses in the same kind of color, also linen. But yeah, blue works for me, so I decided to make another blue dress. I promise not everything is going to be blue in this series, I promise. And now I think it's time to start. First step, as always, is cutting out all the pattern pieces out of the fabric. Here it is, all cut out and ready to go. I'm going to start with the bodice, so don't need the skirt pieces yet. Also don't need the sleeve pieces, just the bodice. And it's pretty simple, and luckily for me there are no darts, because I don't really enjoy doing darts. I just need to put all the pieces together. That sounds kind of self-explanatory, but I just need to attach the front to the side back to the back, and then do the shoulder seams. And the great thing is that like I said, I'm adding a lining, so I don't need to finish the seams. So I'm just going to sew them together, press them open, and then that part is already done. Let's do this. So that's already the majority of the bodice done. Looking cute. I think I want to do the sleeves next. I'm not really following the pattern instructions. I'm just doing what I want to do. And I think I want to do the sleeves. Now, these are the sleeves, and they actually have, or are supposed to have, a cuff. But I'm kind of thinking of leaving the cuff out completely and just having the sleeve kind of be more of a flowy wide sleeve, but I'm not sure yet. So what I think I'm going to do is make the sleeve, as in sew the underarm seam, sew the E-stitching, and then I'll see if I want to add the cuff or leave it out. I'm also not sure if a cuffed poofy sleeve really suits me. So I have sleeves like this without the cuff, and I like those. So I probably will be doing that. But first, I need to prepare the sleeve. And what I think I'm going to start with is just the E-stitching at the sleeve cap. So I need to do 2 rows of my longest stitch length between the 2 dots that I marked earlier, and then we're going to do the sleeve seam. And then we're going to see if we're going to just finish the edge or add the cuff. Let's go to the sewing machine and do the E-stitching. Here are the sleeves. After I E-stitched the cap, I did the underarm seams, and for that I used French seams. So I've pinned the seams together, wrong sides together, sewed that. Then I gave it a quick press, folded it so that the right sides are together, and then stitched along there as well to encase the raw seam edge. So the sleeves are now ready. I'm going to attach them to the bodice now, because then I can kind of try it on and see what the sleeves look like. So I have my bodice, I have my sleeves. Now comes the somewhat frustrating part of setting in the sleeves. These sleeves turned out alright, so I'm hoping this is going to be fine as well. Let's try. Yeah, I like it as a flowy sleeve. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to add the cuff, which means that I'm just going to finish this edge now. Just fold it under twice and sew that down. And then I think we're going to start working on the skirt. And I feel like this is going to be done pretty quickly. It's not that difficult of a project. So if you're looking for a one-day make, well, maybe don't buy a pattern that has only AI photos in the listing. Anyway, let's continue. So now that the sleeves are attached and finished, I think they look adorable. It's time to work on the skirt. Now the skirt is really simple. It's just a front piece and 2 back pieces. So pretty standard. I've already prepared, kind of. I just pinned the back pieces to the front piece, wrong sides together because I'm using French seams for this. Oh no, there's a pin falling out. Anyway, I've pinned it all together, wrong sides together. I'm going to sew it, fold right sides together, sew it again. And then we are ready for one of my favorite parts actually, which is attaching the bodice to the skirt. Because I feel like at that point you can start to see it come together. So I'm excited for that. And then once that is done, we're going to move on to something slightly less exciting. Something a little bit more stressful, which is putting in the zipper. But first, the skirt. The bodice is now attached to the skirt and I quickly press the seam allowance up so that when I put in the lining later I can finish the seam nicely in the lining. Now it's time for the zipper. So I have a blind zipper, that's my preferred zipper type. And what I like to do is just pin it to one side, like this. Just pin it into place along the edge. Now I'm going to sew this using my zipper foot, blind zipper foot, and then we can do the other side. Now that one side is done, what I'd like to do is on the zipper, on the other side that I haven't sewn on yet of the zipper, I mark where the waist seam is so that I can match it up nicely, in theory. Let's see if it's actually going to work. And then I just pin the other side of the zipper tape down, making sure to match up the marking I made for the waist seam. Now I'm going to sew the other side and I'm going to start at the waist seam and then work my way up and then work my way down. So that I'm 100% sure that nothing shifts and that it all stays exactly how I want it to stay. The zipper is done and I think this is one of my nicest zipper insertions I've ever done. It's really neat and I also already quickly sewed up the center back seam. That's all looking really nice. Now it's time for something that I always find really exciting, which is putting in the lining. So for that I need a lining, which I've already prepared. So here we have the lining with the facing attached, like I said earlier. And I've also already quickly sewn in my little tag. So now I just need to attach this to the actual dress. I'm going to open the zipper for this. And then I'm going to just match up all the lines and pin it all into place. And I'm also going to pin this all the way along the zipper, that when I fold it right side out, the zipper is nicely encased, or the zipper tape, not the zipper itself, that would be bad. And I'm stopping a couple of centimeters before I reach the edge, bottom edge of the lining. So that when I fold it to the inside, I can tuck the bottom edge under and sew that to the seam allowance of the waistline. So that's roughly how it's going to look. So I'm going to pin the other side and then I'm just going to sew this. That's looking really nice. The lining is attached. Then I just folded it to the inside and pressed it so that the lining stays to the inside and it's all nice and crisp. The zipper also ended up working out perfectly. Now it's time to work on the finishing touches. First one being sewing the lining to the waist seam allowance. And I also need to attach the lining to the seam allowance of the sleeve. And the lining is done. And then I'm going to let this hang for a couple of days because the side seams are cut on the bias. So I want to give it time to stretch and relax a little bit. And then we can do the hem. And once that is done, the whole dress is done. And we can go to the reveal. Very exciting. And that's the second dress all done. I think it turned out really cute. I do think I could have gone down one size. It's a little bit big, especially around the neckline and around the waist. It's a little bit less fitted than I like it to be, but with the belt, it's fine. I do feel like it needs a belt anyway to kind of break up the blue. And I'm really happy that I changed the sleeve shape. I really don't think the original sleeve design suits me. And I think this looks much better on me. So I'm really happy with that. I am still kind of annoyed that I fell into the AI trap. But let's just put that behind us. Let's move on. I know for a fact that the next 2 installments in the series are not an AI trap. I double checked and that should all be fine. So let's put this behind us. I do like it and I will be wearing it. Don't you worry. Now I'm excited to work on the next dress, which is going to be slightly different in a way. You'll have to see. Anyway, I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.